listening viewers, those who are watching us from the diaspora and within Uganda. We are glad you have made NTV your #1 station. And also NTV People's Parliament, your favorite program. As I always tell you, this is the only program in Uganda that gives wananchi opportunity to speak about issues that affect their everyday life or government policies that affect them. We are in Bulisa district here to discuss a very important topic that affects each and every Ugandan, and that is child marriages. Welcome, honorable members. You are welcome to this parliament. Sitting here in Bulisa, as you know, those who are watching us, we are in Bulisa in a district that does not only flow with milk, but also flows with oil. You are aware that on the 16th of June, last month, Uganda joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day of the African Child under the theme Accelerating Protection, Empowerment and Equal Opportunity. Children are the future for any community, but globally Uganda is ranked among the hotspots where the future of many children is uncertain, with a high rate of child sexual abuse and child marriages. I think the police, you are aware about that. A 2015 report by Global Child Rights Agency estimates that for every 10 girls, 5 are married off before the age of 18. And according to the last police crime report of 2013, the rate of defilement, sex-related crime rose from 8,076 cases in 2012 to 9,589 cases in 2013. I think that is too much for Uganda. In Bulisa particular, we are yet to get the rates. Before I get the ball rolling, I want to invite an official from World Vision to come and give us an overview of child marriages, a threat to national development.
The Honorable Speaker, I'm called Trust Maka, Program Coordinator of World Vision Bulisa. I bring greetings from World Vision Concilians. Honorable Speaker, the matter on the floor of this Parliament is ending child marriage. This is at heart of World Vision business of protecting children from all forms of violence. Here in Bulisa, we work with other civil society organizations, actors, Bulisa District Local Government, media, cultural and religious leaders, as well as children and their families, to end violence against children. However, the program is huge. In Bulisa, child marriage ranks top among the forms of violation. This is now sufficient evidence that child marriage undermines development efforts to achieve the well-being of children and prosperity of Bulisa people. Madam Speaker, in Uganda, for every 10 girls, 5 are married off before the legal age of 18. And from our field observations in the Bulisa district, the ratio could be higher. Unfortunately, the causes are preventable and the solutions are in our hands. Some of the causes include household poverty, poor parenting skills, negative religious beliefs, social cultural norms, and child neglect. Displacements due to emergencies have also been a major cause. The most recent study on violence against children in Uganda indicates 35% of the respondents revealed that they had their first sexual abuse at home. The girl child is the most...
At home, does that mean that the children are being abused by the caretakers?
Caretakers, relatives, people they stay with in their homesteads.
Okay.
The girl child is the most affected by harmful practices of early marriage compared to boys. there is the risk of fistula, contracting HIV and STDs. Also, the resulting teenage pregnancies contribute significantly to the high infant maternal death. Child marriage counts to the higher school dropout, low completion rates of girls in schools. Honorable Speaker, Uganda is a young nation with about 57% of estimated 36 million children below 18 years of age. Losing half of the girls to early marriage will lead to intergeneration poverty, and in the process, undermine pace of Uganda's development and Bulisa district in particular. Our recommendations towards ending child marriage are as
now,
follows.
Honourable Member, I think I'll give you an opportunity at the end of the debate to give us some of the solutions. But thank you. Can I have a cultural leader to please take the podium to tell us what are those cultural things that are forcing children to go into early marriages?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Kulekia Hambuki Abe. I'm a county chief of Bulisa, Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom. The negative cultural beliefs which the kingdom does not want to encourage, one is early marriage. In the past, girls were not allowed to be in schools, especially here, the culture where I belong, the Kibungu culture.
Does it still happen up to now, Honourable Member? Are there those few cases still happening within the community?
Not as of now.
Okay.
This time, children go to both a male and a female go to school. But those were the negative, the cultures which used to happen.
Okay.
And our intervention, as of now, as a kingdom, is character building amongst the children. Children should know how to behave well towards their parents, towards their teachers. Children should regularly go to school. Children should not go into early marriages until an appropriate time when it comes. And another issue is also sensitizing the parents on the value of sending children to school, both female and male equally. And also the teachers to regularly attend to children, and also build good relationship between parents and the teachers. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And I have the district chairman, please.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, the honorable members of this august house. I'm called Agava Kinene Simon. I'm the district chairperson of Bulisa and 12 months old in the office. I welcome you. I want to mention that it is true that there have been a lot of intervention by not only actually World Vision, but by even other civil society organizations which have worked very well and closely with the district local government in checking and ensuring that our children go to school, and especially the girl child is seriously protected. Madam Speaker, it is true, you know, male chauvinism, right when education was introduced in this country, it was introduced by the coming of the Christianity. The Protestants started schools, the Catholics started schools, but the type of education that was propagated by that time was focusing on boy-child education. It's only now that the country, with a number of policies that have come in, different policies have come in to ensure that all girls are given equal opportunity. And to mention without bias, I want to thank NRM government that has propagated the gospel of all children going to school, boys and girls, and including those ones with special learning needs. I want also to mention, Madam Speaker, that as a district, it is true that we have observed that there have been serious abuse on girl child. The cultural institution headed by His Highness Omkama Iguru or Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom has championed the gospel of girl child education campaign. The communities have taken girl child, one, for a source of income. Girl child have been married off early as a source of wealth, as a way of attaining wealth. Two, Madam Speaker, that these children sometimes have been subjected to child labor, and so they begin experiencing that responsibilities of a parent when they are actually a child. And you find at the end of it all, Madam Speaker, a child producing a child, which has been a problem. The third, Madam Speaker, which I must say, the negative attitude of some parents preferring boys for education and neglecting girls. And today, we are saying no, as a district, local government, we are trying to champion in a way of trying to address that issue by bringing and developing a district education ordinance to check on that child abuse. I want, Madam Speaker, also to inform the public here now that when we are propagating the gospel of girl child education, men should not look at it as a negative aspect. We are only saying that women should be empowered. And the theme is talking, when you empower a child of today is a good wife of tomorrow. Yes. A child of today is a good wife of tomorrow. She will be a responsible woman. She will be a responsible leader. And just as you are seated there in the chair, Madam Speaker, as a lady, you also started like a child and a younger child, a girl child. Yes. I thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Let me stop after that so far.
Thank you, Chairman. Can I have a woman senior teacher? I give you 2 minutes, Honorable Member. At least you are at school, you are in charge of girls. You know what happens to them. You will also tell us whether some of these teachers marry off these girls, I'm told.
I'm Honorable Nyota Freda from Bisowo Memorial Secondary School. We have girls who drop out of school because we carry out pregnancy tests every time. So you find that when these girls are tested and you find that they are pregnant, the girls will not come back to school. But they end up getting married. And we wonder, where do these people go? Do the parents go to the police and they decide from there that you should marry off this girl or what? The laws are not enough. The government should help us. If these men who are marrying off these girls and the parents could be arrested and put behind bars, I think the country will be somewhere. Then too, the girls don't have alternatives. They also want to look good, but the parents don't care. But these men will come with their little things, and they also want to look like others. Where do they go? Men make their own decisions. They don't include the women. They can either decide to marry off this girl because they're interested in doing their things, and the women will have no say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, senior woman teacher, for that information. The men who are marrying off our young girls, please, this should stop. And the police should intervene to ensure that these people are arrested. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in Bulisa District discussing child marriages. Let's go for a short break. And when we come back, we shall have testimonies from those girls who have been married off at a very young age. Actually below 18 years of age. Welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament sitting here in Bulisa District. As I earlier told you, we are seated on oil now as we speak. Let's hear from somebody who is a victim of child marriage. Please, take courage and take the microphone, Honorable Member.
You are most welcome to this station.
How old are you now, Honorable Member?
I'm 18 years old.
But you gave birth below 18 years, I can see. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Honorable Kisa Immaculate from Steenby Village, Biso Sub-County. Really, you people, I tell you, I'm badly off.
Are you now staying with the man who married you?
I'm not with the man. The man pregnanted me and went. But I will go at their home place. The parents will tell me that we were not there by that time, so look for your man. And up to now, I'm still suffering. I'm suffering a lot. I regret as to why I dropped out from school. Please, the young ones, I'm also advising you, don't drop out of school. Study harder. We are suffering. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
In which class were you when you dropped out of school?
I was in senior 5.
Okay, take a seat. Thank you for that testimony. I think, honorable members, you can see how touching those stories are. A big man going for a very young girl below 18 years, you pregnant her, dump her, she suffers with a child, become a child mother.
She's standing in front of you. She wants to tell her story as how she felt a victim. When she got pregnant, when she conceived, she was at home. When she was at home, the mother told her she was not allowing her to stay at their home. She instructed her to go and get married or be taken to the man's home who had made her conceive. She went to her boyfriend's home. They also chased her away from the boy's home. She went back. And then she got their pastor, the church leader. The pastor talked to the mom. Told the mother, this lady is going to get a lot of problems. Allow me to go and look after this girl. The pastor took her. The pastor kept her at that time. But her birth time or the time delivery was not easy. She was referred to Hoima. When she was going to Hoima, she went with her parents, the mother. By good luck, God helped her. She delivered well. After delivery from Hoima, she went back to their home, and the mother accepted, looked for her during that time, and then later, the parents to the husband came and took her. The condition wasn't good at all. So she had to leave the place again. She had to leave the husband once again. I'm telling my fellow sisters, girls, please, who are growing up, please take care and be so careful. Please, my sisters, do listen to what your parents are advising you on. Even I myself, my parents could advise me, but I could not hear, I could not listen. So I advise you, take the advice of your parents. If you are in school, please do study hard.
This is a very touching testimony. You just get up and wave to the people with your child, the third victim. Wave to them. Get up and wave to them. You see, there are children with children. And these are they're just representing hundreds of mother children who are in Bulisa and thousands of mother children who are in the country. Those ones who are here, I think you have heard from from these girls who have gone through a lot, and those ones who are listening to us, wherever you are, in whichever district you are, I think you have heard testimony. The district police commander. Have all these things happened under your watch? Please take the podium.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. I'm SP John Rutajira. I'm the District Police Commander, but in this capacity, I'm the Honorable representing the police force in the Bulisa District.
You're welcome.
In these confessions, it is clear that even after all those have happened, after producing and the men abandoning them, you can clearly hear that nothing was reported to police. Madam Speaker, for us as police, we are a very small group that we cannot understand every village and whatever happens in every family, in every village. Now, if we get information, and Madam Speaker, not only information but timely information, by the time this girl got pregnant at 1 month, 2, 3, 4, something would have been done. Madam Speaker, a few cases that have been reported at police, especially like, and these child marriages, they are just a postmortem of defilement. These girls at times are forced by them, don't talk. Madam Speaker, I want to openly tell this August House that some of the cases that I have reported are just a failure of negotiation. After all that has happened, they sit somewhere in their homes and bushes, they negotiate. Okuja kutamburi, mburi mukaga, nante, gitano. If everything fails, after 1 week or 2 weeks, they come and say, by the way, Fandi, a problem happened on my girl, Rutaja raped my girl. It is a postmortem. The doctor cannot trace the penetration level. We cannot trace even the suspect. And Madam Speaker also, these men are always concealed, especially when they have submitted in some small money. They are concealed. If probably a well-wisher comes and gives us information and tips us, we look for the man is concealed and he goes away. Madam Speaker, we are very much aware that we are on a porous border. When things get tough on this man, there is fire behind, just gets onto a boat, he crosses across. And these people will not give us information. Then also, Madam Speaker, the level of poverty, which I want to also attribute to this cause, that when negotiations take place and a man comes with maybe 2 goats and 3 cows and some money, they give, the parents keep quiet and know this is the right man. After some time, that's why they abandoned after producing. But I still stand that even after producing, please come up. We shall take on these men on neglect of children. They are supposed to be responsible and look after what they did. They are vicariously liable for their thoughts. So please, what we want is not only information, Madam Speaker, and this August House, give us timely information. When something happens today, report it immediately. You may not be able to get a DPC or a police officer, but report to your councillor, report to a local leader, report to a pastor, report to the culture leader, report to anybody elderly, and we shall really reach at a certain point. I thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, the August House. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable DPC, District Police Commander. I think you have heard, help the police to help you. If you keep quiet, the police will not come and knock at your door. And parents who are concealing the men who are pregnanting these girls, please stay warned. And also girls, if you get pregnant, report to the nearest police or tell your parent to go there. If your parent neglect you, and the neighbors who are watching, they are being paid for these young girls. Why are you keeping quiet, for heaven's sake?
Madam Speaker, thank you. My name is Honorable Gilbert Tiwasima. Child neglect is a criminal offense, Madam Speaker, which, to my understanding, when I refer people here to the provisions of Article 34 of the Constitution and then the Limitation Act, criminal offenses do not have limitation period, Madam Speaker, and Since they do not have limitation period, why don't we still press for those who destroyed the future of these children?
Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Go ahead.
My name is Okech Michael. I teach English in Uganda Secondary School. They are girl children. And these girl children are few. But they are in the village, there are very many. What do these children do after senior 4? She was defied luckily in senior 5. There are those who cannot reach there. What do they do really? What is the program of the district for those children after who cannot travel very many distances? Because there are very few schools here with A level. Uganda Matters, to mention a few, and then the Upper Bulisa. Why don't we create a vocational institution as per the government plan, that the children of today become better wives tomorrow when they are empowered with skills?
So there is only
for
one A-level school in the whole district?
Lower Bulisa, I know only Uganda Matters. I've heard there is another Mukitale, but the rest, and Biso or something. But the majority of the children, there are too many to have only one vocational school and two A-level school.
Okay.
So where do all the others go? That's
you.
the question.
Thank you. Honorable Chairperson, what measures are you putting in place to?
Just in response to my colleague who has just maybe posed a question to the district. Madam Speaker, I proposed in my first deliberation that one, we are trying to come up with a district education ordinance. That is a law. Then two, of course, it is government policy of having a vocational school, a fully-fledged education vocational school per district. It is true that as a district, local government itself, we have also started on our own Kirama Vocational School, which we are looking for funds to have it equipped to provide skills involvement amongst the youth. But, however, you know, education is also liberalized. There are some volunteers who have come up. We have Albertine Business Vocational School, which has started up by an individual. So one way of checking into these girl child and boy child dropout is to attend to a vocational school like that one, like Albertine Business Vocational School.
Okay.
It is available. But, Madam Speaker, it is a policy of government to have a vocational college per district. We are still demanding from government.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Let's hope we shall have that in place. Please, you have the platform, Mama. Go ahead.
I honor Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Kusima Christian representing this Memorial Estate. Madam Speaker, it is more worse when you give your child a lot of freedom, whereby, in case she commits any bad offense, and you don't take any action against her, she will think that what she's trying to do, they are better than those ones. So I advise you to minimize on the freedom which you give your children.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam.
Too much freedom, and I think this is a .com generation. You find a girl in P5 having a smartphone, the .com children. And this phone exposes these girls to very many things. Facebook, Twitter, there are very many things that can really mislead our children.
Honorable Speaker, one of the causes of early child marriage to may be the general environment where the children are staying. Like for instance, if someone from Biso Boys, growing from Biso Boys itself can show your future. Like for instance, all people from Biso Boys, they are lifeists. And lifeists, making life, playing dances and going for dance halls and disco halls, it will, like for a girl, girls are people who do not over persist things. People will be there, they go on calling, doing everything what they can until they fall in love with very many people, where one may even get pregnant and does not know who particularly has pregnanted such a person. Okay. The only thing I could call, Madam Speaker, is this. Let there come up like other associations or organizations to to sensitize the communities against the effects of early marriages so that the future can be bright.
Thank you. I give you 1 minute, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'm by the names of Omirambe Stephen, representing Mukitale Development Foundation, Rise and Shine School.
Before you bring the courses, what are you doing to protect your fellow students, like the girls and your sisters at home, from child marriages?
Yeah, Madam, we do carry out sensitization at our school. We have senior woman teacher and whatever senior teacher who do advise both boys and the girls are also being advised at school. And that's how they're trying to safeguard them from such problems.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the cause is poor implementation by the government. Say the police. Madam Speaker, allow me to say this. In most cases, when the cases of child marriage are to be reported to police, they don't really implement. Madam Speaker.
So what happens when you take your cases to police?
In most cases, they are silenced by one of the family that's having enough money. They give so that they don't talk. Then the other thing is harassment by the parents. Some parents are too harsh and rude towards their children.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. DPC. 1 minute.
Mwanok Bernard, Child Protection Officer at the police here. We have a lot of challenges as we handle defilement. Actually, anything to do with sex below 18, that one is defilement. So we have a lot of challenges actually. We need a lot of your cooperation.
But Afande, when these cases are reported to your office, do you experience parents coming to you, even if you have rejected, do they come to you wanting to give money?
Some hearsay evidence from people saying we are giving money, but physical, of course, I've not seen it. Of course, I can't say every policeman is clean. There are those who may actually be tempted. Our parents don't cooperate with us. When they bring a case to police, they think that's enough, and they abandon it there. We have a lot of things to do in the police. That's why sometimes cases end up, failing. When we call them for statements, these people don't come. Cases are reported late. Actually, with the defilement, a case should be reported within 24 hours before the evidence is what? Destroyed. We have actually, such a victim should not be taken even for a shower, should not bathe. So those things should be done actually within 24 hours.
Okay.
So when you delay, the evidence is washed. Some people bring cases after a month. There is no evidence.
Okay.
For our friend here who is saying the case is silenced, I want him to come with a specific evidence. Without policemen, we are very serious. Let him come with that specific evidence. We are going to follow up that case and actually handle that one according to the law.
Okay, thank you. DPC, we are short of, but 1 minute, we are short of time. I can see you have a burning issue.
There is what we call neighborhood watch. As we are seated, you know your homes. What happens to a neighbor, tomorrow may happen to yours. Now, let's be the responsibility of everybody. We watch each other. We know what happens to our neighbors, because what happens to your neighbor's girl, tomorrow it will happen to yours, and they don't stop. Then finally, Madam Speaker, parents, you should understand, even if the child is above 18 years, and she's going to get married, fine. Understand what does this man do? Where does he come from? Recently, and they result in 2 days, Madam Speaker. When a man takes that young girl, after failing, everything failing, and knows that they are going to report to police, the man can decide to kill that girl.
Let's go for a short break. And when we come back, we shall concentrate more on the solutions such that by 2030, child marriages are no more in Uganda. Yes, welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, sitting here in the oil district of Bulisa, discussing very, very important issue of child marriages, a threat to national development. You have heard from the children, you have heard from the police officers, you have heard from the teachers. So what can we do as the country to end child marriages by 2030? Honorable members, what can we do? I can see a mother raising up your hand, please. What can we do? 1 minute.
I'm Honorable Namtevi Mangadalena. Madam Speaker, all these problems, they are increasing because we women here in Bulisa, we are suffering alone. The men have neglected the families. They are telling that they are going to work. They go and leave the women alone.
They go and marry other women is where they are going.
And they come back with nothing. So when the men go on to work, they can't because they don't come with anything. The girls are left to care for the families, and the cause is men in police. Because in the former it was not like that when the men were caring. So we women, we are suffering. When you go to look for something, the girl suffers the consequence. Negligence is in the police is causing early marriages.
Thank you, Honorable Member. So, men of Bulisa, you neglect your families to that extent. Okay, I have seen a honorable member of this constituency, Honorable Mukitali. Can I give you 2 minutes to give us some of the solutions to end child marriages by 2030? 2 minutes, Honorable Member.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. One magic bullet which can solve the problem is keeping the young girl in school. When a young girl in school is protected from early pregnancy, is protected from defilement, is protected from having too many children, is protected from dangers related with producing children very early. So the problem in Bulisa, our people are poor. Yes, the women are complaining. Men are going to the lake and come back with nothing because the fish was depleted, because there is now no money at the lake. So when it comes back, it becomes a problem. So Bulisa needs special attention like World Vision funding of girl child education. Last year alone, the DO is here, about 50 girls of Bulisa primary schools who had registered in PLOE did not sit exams because they got married and got pregnant between the registration and exams.
Oh.
And yet, from P1 to P7, 80% of girls are dropping out. So there is only 20% completion of girls in Bulisa. All that is related with child labor because parents are poor, children are grazing cows, children are fishing, children are also earning a living for their parents. So the intervention, therefore, is in keeping these girls in school.
Okay.
So now that we have girls dropping out in primary, we are trying an effort right now at Albert Einstein Business Vocational College to make sure if we got funding, these girls who dropped out with early pregnancy in P7, in S1, they can go and become tailors, they can become plumbers, they can become electricians, they can learn some of these courses. That's how we can rehabilitate them. We have parents who are migrants because one day he's in Kabolwa, another day there is fish in Utiawa, another day he goes to Hoima. In that process of parents moving and the cows moving and the fishermen moving, it is the children suffering because the children cannot remain in the same school when parents are moving.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Mukitari. That is very, very important. But one thing that comes to my mind as the powers that be, this is a district that is flowing with oil. Why are they crying of poverty? What about companies that are exploring oil? Where is the corporate social responsibility? Why can't we fund programs that can protect our children from child marriages?
Parents should provide enough scholastic materials to the girls.
And sanitary pads.
Enough. Because we have girls from P1 up to P7. You find these girls come without books, without a pen, with torn skirts, so that girl is sometimes laughed at from the fellow girls. So parents should provide enough scholastic materials to the girls.
Thank you, senior woman teacher. 1 minute is over. Please. 1 minute.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Speaker. The solution One is to make our education relevant by equipping the students with relevant skills. For example, through the establishment of the vocational schools.
The government should put strict law in order to fight against child marriage in Bulisa.
Thank you. Please, 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, you know that we have HUA, which protects animals, which is Uganda Wildlife Authority. But they are in upper moods with animals. For us, we children, we are not protected.
Oh, oh, yeah, please.
Madam Speaker, I would also request, people to also introduce Child Protection Authority to enforce child's rights. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Very brilliant child.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Many children in Uganda are always much addicted on pornographic materials. So, impose high taxes on drugs and pornographic materials in order to reduce the rate of early marriage in Uganda.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Very brilliant children of Bulisa District. Can I have a district education officer? What can we do, sir, as a district education officer? 2 minutes. End child marriages by 2030.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The point is, we are calling upon everybody. The monster is around. You have seen the monster. You have seen testimonies from those younger girls. Let us make timely reporting of these forms of violence against the children. Let us handle the monster by the horns. I want to thank you for coming. Let us work together and fight violence against children.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our partners, the World Vision, 1 minute and we wind up.
As World Vision, these are our recommendations. The district to formulate an ordinance on end child marriage, enforce existing laws. We admit the laws are in place, but there is need for an enforcement. To work with religious and cultural leaders to change negative norms and behaviors, to empower boys and girls to protect themselves and others. The child marriage is a multi-dimensional challenge that requires multi-pronged approach by all stakeholders. And as World Vision, we believe it takes the world, the local leaders' involvement, the teachers, the government, the cultural leaders, to ensure violence against children is minimized. And my appeal is that let us collectively and work together and make Bulisa child marriage-free zone of Uganda. I submit.
Thank you. Oh, because of time constraints, honorable members, we cannot continue with this very interesting topic. But we thank you for coming to attend this People's Parliament. Honorable Mukitale, it is upon you to go and lobby for a vocational institution in this district to cater for the young girls who are finishing S4. Thank you, those who have been watching us from wherever you are, from wherever district, those who have been watching us live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you for being with us. I am your speaker, Agnes Nandutu, and I aspire to inspire you before I expire. With powers conferred upon me as the Speaker of People's Parliament, I adjourn this house until next Saturday.
The views expressed on this show do not represent those of NTV or its staff.